So Bernier has left the Conservative Party of Canada and is starting his own party, and I've been getting an avalanche of messages and questions all day. So I thought I'd just do a quick video to address some of these. I've been saying for a while now that the only thing worse than Trudeau winning the next election is the Conservatives not decisively losing the next election. Because, Bernier is absolutely right when he says the Conservative Party is morally and intellectually bankrupt. Under 3 terms of the Conservative Party of Canada, the Canadian government grew to its biggest, most costly size ever in history. And now, obviously, it continues to grow at an even faster rate under the Liberal government, obviously. But those are our choices right now. There's either fast statism or slow statism. And unless the Conservatives reform and stop trying to, use the ring of power to set things right in the kingdom and start making some personal sacrifices to throw that bloody ring into the fires of Mount Doom, we're all screwed. So Mad Max has now created an opportunity for Conservatives to do some soul searching, and I hope they do. And everyone knows that I've offered Max an opportunity to lead the Libertarian Party of Canada. And given that he's gone off and started his own party, I've been getting all these inquiries all day asking me, what does this mean for the party? What does this mean for Libertarians? Am I going to join Max's party? Am I going to merge the Libertarian Party with his new party? I follow principles. I follow philosophy. I follow purpose. I don't follow people. Western civilization is built on ideas, primarily the idea of individual liberty. And our party has been standing on those principles, advocating for them, defending those principles and those ideas that built our society for over 45 years. And we have been unflinching. We've been stalwart, determined grinders. I cashed in my pension and killed my career to stand on the political stage and try to spread an unpopular but important principle in a culture that's lost its way. And my party is made up of thousands of people like me. And guess what? As far as I can tell, we're making a difference. Libertarianism is on the rise. I've seen our movement grow exponentially over the past few years. All over the world. We're seeing it everywhere. And, even Mad Max himself is evidence that our work is paying off. I don't think he would have got 49% of the vote in the leadership election had it not been for the work our party's been doing for the last 45 years. So the question is, why would I abandon this? What exciting ideas could this new party offer that would get me out of bed in the morning? Well, I suspect it would be a watered down version of our party principles and platform. Maybe some pragmatism sprinkled in there, some populism. But I'm skeptical that there'd be anything interesting there for me. I'm just not wired to be in mainstream politics, maybe. I need to stand on principle. I can't say things that make me weak. I can't try to manipulate people or water down messages. I'm just not wired that way. And I've already seen a few ethno-nationalists throwing their support behind Max because of some of the noises he's making around diversity and immigration. And I suspect he's tapping into Canadian discontent with immigration right now. So my guess is we're going to be dealing with a party that's swatting at flies while it ignores the stinking, rotting carcass that is attracting them. And my imagination is kind of going in my mind's eyes. I see people saying, thank God we finally have someone who will swat away these flies, someone who will save us. And Max will have to nourish this sentiments of swatting at relatively meaningless flies if he wants electoral success. And so he'll be essentially complicit in distracting people from the rot that is the real problem. So are we going to see any discussion on meaningful restrictions on government, an end to Health Canada, a restriction on military interventionism, anything about monetary reform, a gold standard, an end to the Bank of Canada? any suggestion to end the income tax? Is he going to be like Doug Ford and suggest that the problem with public schools is that conservatives aren't in charge of the curriculum? Or is he going to call into question the very premise of public schools and how they're controlling society and how that's what they were designed for, and maybe we ought to get rid of them? What government departments is he going to end? What spending is he going to cut? Is he going to support concealed carry? Is he going to get on stage like Ron Paul and say, end the Bank of Canada, end the income tax, legalize all the drugs? I have my doubts. None of these things are on the index card of allowable opinion in Canada. And that is a real problem. And I'm interested in addressing that problem. I just don't think Max is. But someone has to get up on that stage and talk about these things, or we're screwed. So we'll wait and see. But, then my next question is, what's going to happen to Max if he loses? What's going to happen if Max loses his seat or retires? Yeah, do you think this party is going to continue marching on? Are they going to be that fired up by the ideas he's left behind? I mean, I don't know. Do you think he's going to cash in his pension and kill his career to keep these ideas going? If he doesn't win the seat, is he going to keep funding his own way and make some sacrifices? How seriously does he take these ideas? So I'm not sure. My guess is that this party is going to be a flash in the pan and will fizzle as soon as Max loses his seat or retires. And we've seen this pattern over and over again. Our party has been steadfast for 45 years, while numerous conservative parties have come and gone. Conservatives tend to be rudderless. They're driven by panic and fear of the liberals. I mean, the liberals can't get into power. That's the worst fear, right? And they abandon principles for votes and constantly try to avoid the liberals getting power. And in doing so, they become the very thing they fear the most. And so they break down, split off into competing factions, only to have fear of the liberals reunite them again under some banner of reform so that they can go ahead and lose their soul again. And this continues on. It's kind of frustrating to watch on the outside, but so Bernier is a bit like a modern day Preston Manning to me. He's going to shake things up, hopefully get conservatives back on track for a bit. And I wish Max and his party all the luck in reforming conservatives, but chasing votes and saying things that make me weak doesn't appeal to me. I'm driven by purpose. I don't think I'm driven by the same things that Max is driven by. So to answer all your questions, no, I'm not changing the name of the Libertarian Party of Canada. The Libertarian brand is on the rise, and there's nothing appealing to the conservative brand to me at all. I don't even really get what conservatism is anymore. The political spectrum is not left versus right. It's authoritarian versus libertarian, and more people are catching on today to that. And that's the only sensible way to see politics, as far as I can tell. And no, I'm not going to merge the Libertarian Party with Max's new party. Max's party is likely to burn bright and then flame out. And I'm not going to let our party die by hitching it to his. And, I'm going to keep the flames of liberty lit over here, even if I'm the only one left standing. That's just how I'm wired. But I won't be the only one, because there are a lot of other people wired like me. I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with Spartans, and we're not going to compromise our principles or do something that makes us feel weak. We're going to continue doing what we're doing over here. And eventually, I think more and more people are joining us. We're going to keep pushing towards a full slate, and I suspect we're going to have the best year our party's ever had. And we'll continue marching on long after Max's party is gone.